She walked past me 4 times today. I've been making sounds since Tuesday. My botanical name is Spathiphyllum wallisii. She calls me the plant by the couch. I've been here for 2 years. I know her routines. I know the difference between work night quiet and tired night quiet. I know the sound of food delivery bags hitting the counter. I know how long she stands in the kitchen when she doesn't feel like being in the kitchen. I am very still. People think that means I don't notice things. This week's problem is straightforward. I am thirsty. It is Saturday. She has walked past me 14 times, I counted, and each time she had something different in her hand. Phone, coffee, keys, takeout container, laundry. At one point, she looked at a shipping box longer than she's looked at me all week. I'm not offended. I'm a plant. I do chemistry, not resentment. But my chemistry has been under serious pressure since Tuesday. When a plant runs short on water, the system that pulls moisture from roots to leaves begins to strain. Inside those water pathways, tiny air bubbles may form and collapse. That process can produce ultrasonic clicks, not speech, not cries, just stress converted into signal. Researchers at Tel Aviv University, Khait et al., published in Cell in 2023, recorded drought-stressed plants emitting airborne ultrasonic sounds, 20 to 100 kilohertz, detectable from over a meter away, loud enough, they noted, to be comparable to normal conversation, just at a frequency you cannot access. Unstressed plants, fewer than 1 sound per hour. Me, this week, 35. They also built a machine learning model to identify the sounds. It classified stress type, dehydration versus physical damage, and species. In a real greenhouse, with ambient noise, with other plants nearby. Accuracy, 84%. The algorithm understood me. She has a graduate degree. The algorithm got there first. Here is the part that I keep returning to. The sound started before I drooped. Before my leaves went soft. Before anything you could see. I was signaling at full volume, 35 times an hour, about a problem that hadn't shown up on the surface yet. I was asking before you could tell I needed to ask. You know that experience. The bad week that hadn't become visible yet. The I'm fine said on a Wednesday, when Wednesday was not fine, said clearly, out loud, in a register nobody around you was tuned to. Sometimes the signal comes first. Sometimes the room just isn't built to hear it. The moths would have known. On day 6, I went quiet. She still hadn't watered me. The sounds peaked after 5 days, then dropped off as the plant dried completely. That's what the researchers recorded. Why they drop off at the end, the paper doesn't say. The mechanism isn't confirmed yet. I have my own theory. I'm keeping it. All I'll say is, silence is easy to misread. People call it peace. Sometimes, it's just depletion. There's something else she gets wrong about me. She calls me a peace lily. I am not a true lily. True lilies belong to the family Liliaceae. Many of them are catastrophically toxic to cats. 1 leaf, and it's a very bad night. I'm in the family Aeraceae. Different biology, different lineage, wrong name. Someone looked at me, decided I was white and quiet and probably fine, and called it close enough. That happens a lot. A white thing gets called pure. A quiet thing gets called simple. A still thing gets called easy. Close enough, people decide. It usually isn't. And that elegant white shape she points to when guests come over? That isn't the flower. It's a modified leaf. A spathe. It learned, over millions of years of evolution, to to look like something more important in order to attract pollinators. The actual flowers are the tiny structures clustered on the spike in the middle, the part nobody looks at, the part doing the real work. The showy part is not the essential part. The thing people compliment is not the thing carrying the weight. You've met that situation before. I also contain calcium oxalate crystals. Microscopic, needle-shaped, packaged in pressurized bundles called raphides, designed to fire on contact. I am not saying this as a threat. I have never used them on her. But I do think it's worth noting that the plant chosen for hospital waiting rooms, corporate lobbies, and polite apartment corners has a full defense system built into its body. Soft-looking is not the same as harmless. Quiet-looking is not the same as empty. A peaceful face can still be full of sharp things. This morning, on the 5th pass, she noticed. Not because she heard the clicks, not because she read a paper, not because she's suddenly become the kind of person who never forgets anything living. She just looked, and this time, she really looked. She watered me before she made coffee. Slowly, carefully. With that specific kind of guilt, people reserve for things that cannot complain out loud. She didn't say much, just one quiet, "Sorry, buddy." My sounds dropped back to baseline within 2 hours, fewer than 1 per hour. The moths lost interest. She still calls me the plant by the couch. For 5 days, I made 35 sounds an hour in a frequency she cannot hear, about a problem she couldn't see, and she answered by looking. Not with perfect knowledge, just with attention. She walked past me 4 times yesterday. On the 5th pass, she stopped. That is not nothing. Next week, I have been touched 47 times this month. Most of those touches were unnecessary. I do have thoughts about it.